It is WrestleMania weekend, and we're here with your Stand and Deliver preview show. I am Jeff Martin alongside my tag team partner, the trendsetter, Brian Berga. We are HSP on the Give Us a Shot network. Make sure you like and subscribe and download. And make sure you can also watch us here on the Give Us a Shot. So hit that notification bell and don't miss any single episodes of HSP. And if you can't watch us, listen to us on all podcast platforms and download us there. You can follow us on all social media platforms at High Spot Podcast. Stand and Deliver early mornings on a Saturday for these guys. God bless them. But of course, it is WrestleMania weekend. You got to get the guys able to transport them to WrestleMania. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of performance they're going to do. But honestly, it is WrestleMania. So like you were talking about before, it is the Christmas. So everybody can float about. And there will be people there at 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the T-Mobile Arena. So you don't have to worry about that. But Trendsetter, we gave you your WrestleMania preview show nights 1 and 2. Now we talk Stand and Deliver in the land of NXT. What's going on, man?
What's going on, dude? The land of no sleep. That's what's going to be like in Las Vegas. So no sleep whatsoever for these guys doing media appearances, doing stuff at the World, WrestleMania Superstore, just making the rounds in the after parties and all that nightlife in Las Vegas. It's going to be a no sleep and going to be really interesting to see what type of performance they're all going to execute there. But it's going to be fun. It's a great environment. Like I said, it's Christmas. It's a great environment. Regardless of how early it is, people will show up. People will be enthusiastic. And this card that we're going to talk about, it's a good card.
It is a really good card, and we've seen the footage already. A lot of people having fun in Vegas already. So we're happy for you guys. Enjoy it. And now we talk Stand and Deliver. This is probably the best card they've had in a while. It's a very deep card. They probably try to get everybody on here, and they've done a good job in doing so. We're going to break it down for you right now. The countdown trendsetter to NXT is going to be a tag team fatal four-way for the women here, and they become the number one contenders. They'll have a future opportunity at Tag Team Gold. You've got the team of Cora Jade and Roxanne. They've gotten back together again. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Tatum Paxley, and Gigi Dolan. Oh, Gigi Dolan. Anytime I get to see her on my TV is a win-win for me. And then Fatal Influence, JC Jane, and Fallon Henley. They're going to kick things off here for Stand and Deliver, the countdown show. Listen, the women's tag team division, obviously, to me, it starts with Roxanne here because it's kind of been a little stop and start with her because she was on the main roster. She had done a tremendous job elevating the women's division. You can't take it away from her in NXT. And now she's kind of in limbo because probably WrestleMania season, and there was a feud with Bayley that was in the works, but it seems like they pulled that back. So she's been back and forth with NXT, and now it seems she's in your famous words, Chancellor, a gatekeeper here at NXT because she's taken a lot more L's than we've ever seen her probably in her whole time in NXT. Now she's competing for wasn't even on this card. Imagine that. Had to pull a last minute partner in Cora Jade. Now she's involved in this tag team fatal four way. Just your thoughts on who's going to win it, and your thoughts on Roxanne Perez. Do you see a future push once WrestleMania is over?
I think that's what's going to happen. But right now, it's so easy to say, oh, right after WrestleMania, Roxanne's going to be right in the mix. But that could wait until the draft, which, again, the huge debate, does the brand split really matter? In my opinion, it doesn't. But I think they'll promote that. And I think that's when Roxanne will be picked on either Raw or SmackDown. It'll be official. She'll be done with NXT. But in the meantime, I do like this pairing again with Cora Jade and Roxanne. The fact that they were separated when we thought Roxanne was moving on to the main roster, and we thought, all right, Cora's not going to go into singles action. It hasn't really worked. So I think really in this group, a lot of talented women. You said it before. You said it earlier in the opening of the show. Trying to get everybody in the show, rightfully so, right? Because they want to be a part of it for WrestleMania weekend. But I think Cora and Roxanne will likely be the victors in this one. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win championship gold, but they will be next in line for a tag team title shot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going to go by here's a funny thing, because if you go with them because they are probably they have probably the largest resume out of everybody here. But then you have a tag team that's got strength and power and finesse and quickness in Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. You got to give them credit. They've done their damage sometimes when they've been on the main roster as well. They've had their time as well to, they're probably the second cohesive team here. I know that the Fatal Influence is also part of a group too, so they've had their share of of tag team success, but just I would say just individual more than tag team. So that's how it would rank down as far as the tag teams. And then Tatum Paxton and Gigi Dolan, they just haven't done it in a long time, but they've actually seemed to have a lot of cohesion as well. So everyone can make a case. I'm probably just going by the resume here, but if you're saying that Roxanne Perez is going to get elevated up and Cora Jade might go back to singles, I might think might not be beneficial for them to win this. So I'm going to go with let's go to Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. I'm going to go and take that and see what happens there. So I'm gonna have them win. I agree with you, Trendsetter. You probably your head is probably saying and saying correctly Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, but I'm gonna go and use my wild card here right now and just go Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan advancing.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I'm picking Cora and Roxanne is that there seems to be these underlining tension where there seems to be a backstab here and there, whether Roxanne's going to turn her back on Cora or vice versa. So I could see them going to a title match, it not going their favor, and then Cora, for example, turning on Roxanne, and that gives Roxanne her ability to go to Raw or SmackDown. So that's the way I'm looking at it, long term wise.
And then we move on to now, obviously, the show itself and a six-man tag team match, as we saw last week. That whole fight, that little fiasco that we saw between the D'Angelo family and Dark State. I'm not really, quite honestly, a huge fan of Dark State and what they've done. I think they're trying to push that Shield kind of comparison. I'm not buying it. I don't know a lot about these guys. It just seems like they've put them together, and I wish they just would have done more of a package where I see what they're about. And obviously, the idea is that they're trying to make a statement. They really haven't had success on or have been on TV that much beforehand. And, I guess maybe a win like this probably would, I guess, solidify them in as far as this faction of Dark State, but really haven't been a fan of it. I'm not going to lie. It's just the truth. And the D'Angelo family, you're seeing a little bit of tension between Tony and the underboss. So, quite frankly, to me here, it's elevating one team and then seeing the dissension and disintegration of a family in the D'Angelo family here. And I think that's what we're going to get. So I think Dark State here is the up and coming faction, and I think that they're going to come out victorious.
Yeah, let's also forget too that the Shield, the originals, weren't very well known on TV. If you were watching watching what WWE was doing on the indie scene and their promotional brand at that time, so they were also just given an opportunity. So yeah, this Shield 2.0, as I call it, they're more of a cohesive unit right now than the D'Angelo family. So I see that going on too. I see the Dark State right now sending a statement where this whole team or this group is stronger than the D'Angelo family. So I see them coming out victorious as well.
Do you see some tension between Tony D'Angelo and the underboss? You kind of saw that, right? You kind of saw that hug, and you saw Tony D'Angelo kind of looking like, I think I kind of know what I have to do, eventually. Because if it doesn't work out here, I mean, like you can definitely see divisiveness in this family, or you could see the start of it last week on NXT.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see it, the way they're promoting it, the way they're showing it in storylines, from especially what we saw last time too with the hug, where there was embraced, where it didn't look like it was a happy embrace. And to your point too, I think there's going to be dissension in the ranks. I don't know if it's going to happen particularly that after Stand and Deliver, but at the event itself in the T-Mobile Arena. But I think soon after, this family is going to split up. Rightfully so. All think good things come to an end. And I give it credit where credit is due. A lot of people make fun of this family, make fun of the gimmick, but they're fully committed to it, and it is entertaining from time to time.
The NXT Tag Team titles are on the line. Fraxium against Hank and Tank, the lovable underdogs. And they finally won that gauntlet match. They went through all of it, and they earned the right to take on probably the best tag team in wrestling today. Obviously, you have, you could be fans of the Hardys, the Young Bucks, any other team. But right now, Fraxium can make a claim to be the best tag team in the world. And that's crazy, right? Nathan Frazier and Axiom to be put in that position. When they first put them together, I was like, okay. And they just have gelled. They've also had that tease of trying to stay together while it looks like it's inevitable that they're gonna have to be split apart eventually down the road. But for now, they've kept it together. And I could see that one day that they're gonna fracture Fraxium eventually, but I don't see it here. Hank and Tank, to me, they've just worked hard. They're popular with the crowd, and I think that they're getting a well-deserved opportunity at tag team gold. But I'm not convinced that they're going to walk away the tag team champions, nor is it the time to do it. It's Stand and Deliver, and I think that we're going to see maybe a couple more teases here with Fraxium, but you could see maybe them being pushed to the limit by this team because they're the underdogs. You might want to see that. The crowd's probably going to get a lot of false finishes, and they're going to think that Hank and Tank have won this on a few times, on a few occasions. But at the end of the day, I think Fraxium comes out victorious, and they retain the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Tell you what, man, Public Enemy. Oh, I'm sorry, Hank and Tank are becoming very popular with
Oh,
the crowd. I mean, come on, it's a given. They look like Public Enemy guys. If you don't know what Public Enemy is, look it up, Google it. That's all I could say. But listen, they're becoming a fan favorite. And again, this is the classic story too of the underdog team that nobody expected them. They had to go through the hard way. The first team within the gauntlet went through all the teams, got to this point, have had opportunities, have not won the big one. And as much as this would be a nice feel-good story or moment for them, I don't think they win the big one here on this stage right now. Fraxion is just too much of a dominant team. To your point too, Jeff, like this is a pairing that when I first saw it, I was like, okay, maybe a couple weeks and then they'll break up or they'll find another team that's more of a cohesive unit that makes more sense and we'll move on from them. But they've been pretty dominant and have gelled really well together. And only time will tell to see when they do split up eventually, because again, the Easter eggs are there where there have been moments where one's going to turn on the other. But in this case, I don't think it's going to happen here. Fraxion will retain the tag team titles.
all right. We've got the NXT Women's North American Championship in a ladder match. Your
Like this one.
participants are Lola Vice, Dios Mio, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, the returning Thea Hale, Izzy Dame. There ain't nothing like a dame. Nothing. I just went back to that. And then Zarya. And this is loaded group here. And, there's a lot of ways you can go with this one.
Mm.
But listen, Sol Ruka, congratulations to her who she won the Women's Speed Championship this past week. So congratulations to her. She actually now has a championship in her resume as well. So big things for her. She, to me, is the first person I want to start with. She's gifted. She learned this in the PC, so she does not have this in her background, and she's a natural. And when I see this person that I compare to, is like, I guess to say, with like a Charlotte Flair. I mean, she's got the kind of look and just her move set, and that finisher is out of this world. I don't know how it would translate to the main roster if you can, eventually, if age will have to make you change that, but she just has all the tools and she's been up here a while. Maybe not considered the favorite here, but someone you have to watch.
She has been somebody that's always been on my radar in terms of not only is she's drop dead gorgeous in my opinion, she's super athletic, but she's able, at least now at this stage that you've noticed as well, starting to put the pieces together. It's becoming more natural. There's a lot more better psychology. I mean, listen, we know she can do all the flips, all the athleticism moves. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe a human being can actually do that, or it seems like more of like a video game type of thing, especially with their finisher. But I'm all for it. I'm rooting for her. I think she has a great opportunity here. I don't think she's going to be victorious. Listen, Lola Vice, say what you want about her in terms of her starting up. And I thought her progression as a babyface wasn't going to be a smooth transition. It has kind of been, although I don't think naturally she's a babyface. I like her better as a heel anyway. I think it's more natural for her personality. Kalani Jordan
Is a favorite to me.
is a favorite. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to go with the favorite here because as much as Kalani Jordan is the favorite, she's the first ever women's North American champion. I'm looking at Zarya. I really am. I really want this to be an opportunity for her to get her chance at a singles title. Some could say it's a little too early. Listen, she was brought in as this force, this monster, right? But now with her partnership with Sol Ruka, you see more of a humanized side of her. And I think the crowd's really behind it and they kind of like it too. So as much as I'm in favor of the Zarya that started and came in, that was this scary demon looking woman, to see her personality come out, I think works in her favor. And I think if she did become the champion, that would be great. So I'm picking Zarya in this one.
Are you, because at first we were kind of wondering what their reasoning was to humanize Zarya, because she came out as, when she made her debut, was like this monster gimmick, whatever. But I think by doing so and humanizing her, you saw this side of her that I don't think had ever been tapped. Now, I'm not going to say that I know uh, Zarya well when she was on the Indies Delta, that she was, what she was, but I don't think they ever humanized her. It was just this force, and just sheer power, and that's it. But I think WWE's done a good job and good thinking of actually, giving a backstory and getting Sol Ruka to bring out this personality in her, because it just makes you more, I would say, just more valuable, because not only can you be considered this powerful force, but you also have a powerful personality, which she has.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why, listen, I know there could be a lot of to be said about Kalani regaining her championship that she was the first champion of. And again, all these women, you could make a good case for all of them. I just have this feeling about Zarya. So if I'm going to pull my wild card here, I think just Zarya is going to come out victorious in this one.
That's
Who do you
great. That's a great decision. That's a great choice. But I'm gonna go Kalani Jordan.
have?
Actually, no. You know what? No, I'm gonna be different here as well, because the Kalani Jordan would be these. I'm gonna go Lola Vice. I'm gonna go Lola Vice because she's kind of been in the background. She's in From where we last saw her, she's always been in great shape, but now she's a little bit more cut up, showing a little bit at the abs. And to me, I think that this is going to be her night. So I'm going to go with Lola Vice. But Kalani Jordan, obviously, here, if you take a look at just the resume, the athleticism, and she's been there before. It's Kalani. Sol Ruka, for example, she's won her title now, and she doesn't need the title here because she's just a fan favorite, so it might not be for her. Zarya would probably be my second or third choice, and of course, Thea Hale is just coming back. She probably will do a crazy spot, and Izzy Dame to me probably is least favorite here. She's coming into her own, but I don't just see her pulling off the upset here. It'd be a monumental upset if you ask me.
That
So
would be the ultimate underdog story there.
so I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna take Lola Vice here and see what happens. But either way, though, this is gonna be an entertaining matchup. This is probably gonna be one of the matches that you're looking forward to seeing the most, because it is a stacked lineup too. So this one obviously will deliver. And so again, we will just see. But I've got Lola. Trencher's got Kalani Jordan. We move on here to
I got
where
Zarya.
Oh, you got Zarya. I apologize.
Yeah.
Zarya. I got Lola Vice. And now we go on to the NXT North American Championship. And obviously, this is Tony Khan's worst nightmare. Exactly. Get on board the revolution. All ego Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints will be defending the North American Championship. Listen, this is I'm happy for both men. They are now cornerstones, mainstays of NXT. And Ricky Saints, to me, looks happy. He looks happy, and he looks like he's found that pep in his step, like he's found himself again. Ethan Page has just shown to you how valuable he was and how misused he was in AEW, because these are two guys, obviously, that you can't fathom how you could let them slip off out of your fingers, right, out of your grasp, because you had them, and now NXT has them, and they're headlining a major PLE on WrestleMania weekend. I mean, this is more than they could ever ask for, from where they were 6 months ago to where they are now. Congratulations to them and kudos. This to me is an excellent matchup. I like both guys, but I just find it hard for Ricky Saints to lose here in this one. I think they'll both end up looking good, but at the end of the day, Ricky Saints, that revolution will keep going past Stand and Deliver.
Hey, talk about being happy, right? I think both these individuals are happy from where they were, like you said before. It all comes full circle to the fact that it's WrestleMania weekend. You guys are competing for the North American Championship. You're at an event right now where the crowd's going to go crazy. Two former AEW guys. I mean, this is a match you wanted to see on AEW TV, and this isn't a shot towards AEW. I mean, again, hindsight's 2020. An opportunity was there. It wasn't taken. It's now taken here, and I'm looking forward to it because I think both guys are going to shine. They have such bright futures for themselves in terms of the unpotential talent that we're seeing now on NXT TV. So really looking forward to this one. I agree. I got Ricky Saints winning this one as well. I think the momentum he had coming in and then getting a shot at the North American Championship, winning it, I just feel to have titles flip-flop, that used to be the old thing in the old regime, or the old, not for necessarily NXT, but in terms of the old regime in WWE. I don't think you want to switch titles here back and forth. I think this will be a rivalry that will still go on. It's not a one-off in any stretch of the imagination, at least for Stand and Deliver. But I got Ricky Saints retaining the NXT North American Championship.
The NXT Women's Championship will be decided in that night here at Stand and Deliver. Stephanie Vaquer will defend it against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Miss Parker, Jada Parker. And I think what they've done is this buildup has been great. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer had to relinquish, well, not had to, but she chose to relinquish the North American Championship for the benefit of the women's division. And Julia, we found out Julia, there was no injury, there was no green card. It was more of like, listen, Stephanie Vicar is more over right now, and we're gonna push Julia a little bit to the side, and now she's come back as a heel. We talked about this. It's crazy. We talked about this a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago, and we said that maybe Julia, her best bet is to come off as a heel because at the start of it, Julia came in, and then a few weeks later, Stephanie Vicar. Just seemed there's a little bit more excitement, and we kind of knew more about Stephanie Vicar, whether it was from watching AEW Forbidden Door or maybe just more accessible to tapes from Mexico or something like that. But for some reason, Stephanie Vicar relates to the audience. And you saw the video of her going back to Chile to see her dad and her family, being the toast of the town, and just showing how the crowd loves her and how everyone pulls for her. They know her story. And that's why she is where she is. Julia, when she came in, was just a little she was ahead, but then Stephanie Carey just pulled so far in front of her that it was pretty obvious. We noticed it too, and we were like, WWE's got to notice this, and they did. And so now Julia now has a fresh start as a heel, which isn't too bad, and I think her future's still bright. But right now, to see anybody else here defeat Stephanie Vicar, I don't see it. I think Stephanie Vicar is going to be a champion for the long run. And you have Jordan Grace here, who's coming in from TNA, the Juggernaut, and she's viable for this. But there are going to be more opportunities for her. And Jada Parker listen, she has elevated herself to get to this point. She belongs in the conversation of women to win championships. But it was a great start getting to know her backstory this week on NXT. Jordan Grace definitely is the power, and there'll be more opportunities for her down the road. And Julia right now, I think, is establishing that heel. So she still has a little bit ways to go. And I just don't see a short title run for Stephanie Vicar. I see her holding on to this title for a while.
Yeah, listen, the viable case for every single woman in this match right now, and you make a great point, Jeff. I'm not going to deny it because you're right. If you're a WWE right now, why would you want to stop the momentum that Stephanie has right now as a champion, as a fighting champion? And honestly, I have not seen a match she's been in with anybody on this roster that has been a bad match. She works well with everyone. I would love to say Julia will retain her title, but that really doesn't make much sense in terms of this heel version of her. Jordan Grace so happy she's part of NXT. She's done amazing things in TNA and just the tip of the iceberg of what she can accomplish in NXT. But when it comes to Jada Parker, I wasn't a believer in the beginning. I wasn't, because I thought there was so much more for her to grasp and learn. But I really feel, honestly, that the company really likes her. She's put in these positions. And you know what? She's been in there with Stephanie. She's been in there with Jordan, not necessarily with Julia, and she's held her own. So the reason why I'm leaning in this direction is just simply this. If by some chance Stephanie were to lose this match, which I have her losing, she's protected because she doesn't have to get pinned in order to lose this match. And this can continue the rivalry between.
Well, it's a ladder match, yeah.
What's a ladder match? Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's a ladder match. She doesn't have to.
No, you're right. She doesn't have to get
Be
pinned. No, you're
involved
right. Yeah.
to lose the title. Sorry, I'm thinking about a fatal 4-way match. It's a ladder match. So if she
Oh
loses,
no, I'm so sorry, Trendsetter. That's
it's the NXT. You got me confused. That was the North American title.
North American title.
4-way.
Yeah,
So she doesn't reverse that. She doesn't have to get. This is like you trying to give me directions, Jeff, and say, Brian, go this way, and I listen to you. Never again am I doing that.
I'm watching video of Stephanie Vicar here wrestling, so that's why I'm a little thrown off. So apologies,
Okay.
Trendsetter. All I've done is
I'll finish my point here real quick. So the reason why is that if Stephanie were to lose her title, she's protected because she doesn't have to be involved to lose it in this fatal 4-way match, Jeff.
Yes.
And
fatal 4-way.
With Julia, they can continue that rivalry on, which I'm sure will be a great series of matches. And Jordan Grace and Jada already have a story there too. So if Jada becomes champion, Jordan can chase her, and then you can have Stephanie come back and chase. And again, it opens up the door to a whole bunch of other possibilities. Plus, that surprising factor where when you look at these individuals, you're thinking Stephanie retaining. Second, you're thinking Julia, and then you're thinking Jordan. You're not thinking about Jada Parker. So my upset, if you want to call it one, of the night will be Miss Jada Parker will become the new NXT Women's Champion.
Wow, there you go. And can I ask you this? The way that Stephanie Vicar has been elevated, do you see her on the main roster sooner than later?
If I have to answer it, yes.
She's I mean, honestly, her wrestling, I'm sure maybe she wants to just get better with the English, but she's doing a great job communicating so far. But if I were to tell you, if I give you an over under 6 months, what would you take?
Under 6 months.
Under 6 months?
Yeah.
I would kind of have to believe that as well.
That's why I'm leaning towards Jada, because not that one's more red than the other. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, right? Because if you were to ask me that, I think Stephanie has a faster track to the main roster than a Julia or Jordan, or in this case, a Jada. If you put the title on Jada, then you're supporting NXT for a longer period of time, because Jada's going to be there and being representing as the champion for a long period of time, if that's the goal of creative, right? So that's the way I'm going. But again, there's nothing against Stephanie. I don't think this hurts her momentum. I think it just continues on in terms of this personal rivalry that's going to be leading up between Stephanie and Julia. The history they have, W has done a really good job, especially NXT has done a good job going back in the past and showcasing this rivalry / friendship now that's turned because Julia has gone to the dark side. So I think that sets up for a great series of matches between the two of them that doesn't necessarily have to have the title with it. That's why I have Jada coming out victorious.
All right, Trendsetter. Before we get to the NXT Heavyweight Championship matchup, the triple threat between Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans, I just want to say, follow us here on the Give a Shot Network. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of High Spot Podcast, HSP, on Give Us a Shot Network. Also, if you can't watch us, make sure you listen to us on our podcast platforms, all podcast platforms, on iHeart, on Apple, everywhere podcasts are. You can listen to the Jersey Wrecking Crew. So again, if you can't watch us, listen to HSP. Follow us on all our social media at High Spot Podcast. And guys, we also want to comment with you. We want to talk to you, interact. So make sure that you check us out on Instagram, conversate, leave messages. We will get back to you as well. And also to make sure you catch a bunch of content that we have for you. You've got the WrestleMania Nights 1 and 2 previews are up and ready to go here on the Give It a Shot Network on the platform. So make sure you watch that before Mania this weekend. And of course, this Stand and Deliver episode, the preview show, will be up there for you guys to watch. So hopefully you like, enjoy, interact with HSP, interact with the Jersey Wrecking Crew, and make sure you check other interviews with Rohizi and David Bartolome here, two great musicians in their own right, as they talk about the Remix Rumble from this weekend here, night one of WrestleMania. And David Bartolome, who is a viral cover artist for W theme songs, he talks in depth about why he wanted to get that started. And that is all available on the HSP podcast platform, which is Give Us a Shot Network. All right, Trendsetter. Now the NXT Heavyweight Championship, the triple threat, the big one. Obafemi comes in. Trick Williams, the former champion, and Javon Evans, who is the future of this business, of this company. And, I'm going to go here because obviously the IWC talks about, having representation, right? And here, Shawn Michaels, there is representation here. Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. So that's a great thing. That's an awesome thing for this card to be the main event and have this. Now, here's the thing, though. When analyzing these guys, Trick Williams here, I've said it before, to me has lost a little bit of momentum. He's just missing that spark. He is kind of a little bit more forceful, and I see it and I get why. But just to me, there's a spark missing from Trick. The crowd still sings to his song, but I just feel there's just something missing there. I thought he would be on the main roster sooner than later, but to me, I just still think that, hey, he's got to just find something else more in him, whether it's the promo or something. I wish I knew, or else I would not be here. I'd be working for the company, right? I wish I knew what was missing, but I feel like something's missing. Javon Evans is on the cusp, right? He is like right there. He has a bright future. Obafemi, to me, should always be the favorite here. And you just wonder here what they're going to do. Is Obafemi ready for that main roster? Is he ready to go to the next level? I think he's going to be eventually called up, maybe perhaps by the draft. You don't know. That could happen. But for now, though,
Draft.
yeah, well, I mean, it's there, though.
And
Before we give you predictions here, Trendsetter, who needs it more? I'm going to play that game with you here for this one. Who needs it more, Javon, Trick, or Obafemi?
Oh, it's easy. Trick needs it more.
Yeah.
Absolutely needs it more. He's lost a little bit of his spark. He's not smiling anymore. He's not dancing. He's overusing bottles of baby oil ridiculously. It's a horrible.
Oh, baby oil.
It's a horrible condition. Honestly, there should be a meeting or some type of scenario where people are like, listen, it's too much, man. It's too much. But yeah, you're right. The crowd's still behind him. The crowd still loves Trick. They're still singing his song, but he just doesn't seem to be enjoying it. He seems bitter. He seems mad. He wants his title back, and that showcases to you a level of character too, right? When you do the chase and you get there, right, and you're the champ, and then it's taken away from you, or you lose that magic that you had. It wasn't long enough that you expected and you anticipated. You feel something's missing. You're so desperately trying to get it back through any means, at any cost. And I think that's what we're seeing with Trick right now. He's just there's the level of, I want to say, doubt, but lost identity, because if he's not the champion, then what is he? That's what kind of he's portraying on TV. And there's no friends. He's not being friendly to anybody. Get out of my way. I want my title shot. That's all I want. It's the only thing that matters to me. That's what he's showing. Oba, you're right. He should be the favorite in everything right now. Oba is a dominant force in NXT from being the North American champion, and now we predicted he was going to go to this route as well, because it was only the natural progression for him. Javon Evans, listen, I'm not taking anything away from Javon. He is a fan favorite. He does amazing things in the ring. His match with Randy Orton, standing toe to toe, a lot of people would burn in that scenario. They would fall under the pressure of facing a guy like Randy Orton, right? And he held his own. But he messed up the end and apologized to Randy at the end. And Randy was like, "Don't worry about it. It is what it is." Gave a lot of praise to him too. But for Javon, it's hard for me when you compare him to Trick and Oba. Yes, I understand it again. The typical thing we see in wrestling, right, Jeff? The underdog, the guy that, he doesn't look like a champion in a sense, but he's got the heart in the fight. So I get that aspect. I just don't think it's time for him. I just don't believe it right now. In ring, I believe it, but from a character standpoint, I just don't believe in it right now. Not that I don't believe in him. I think he's a great athlete, a great wrestler. I think he will potentially get to that point. It won't be here. So I have Oba retaining the NXT Heavyweight Championship, and maybe this finally sets Trick off, where Trick is no more smiling and happy. He wants that one-on-one. He didn't want Javon to be in this triple threat match, because originally it was a one-on-one match. Javon got himself into this. And so I think that will cause more bitterness, where either it'll be Trick and Javon, or Trick now goes and turns back to the dark side.
Because right now, to me, the men's heavyweight roster, it was kind of thin, and now it's kind of getting back there. It's replenishing, right? Because you have two guys like Ricky and Ethan that can go back up there, right? And then you have Oba Femi, Javon Evans, Trick Williams. So that's kind of a better roster right now. And it's not about, to me, I always bring up the main roster, and I think you always hear that conversation because, why can't we just enjoy them while he's here, right? I'm not pushing them there, right? I would love to have these guys here, and I'm sure Sean would love to have these guys up here as much as possible, just so that the roster's deep enough. Because for a few months ago, it wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. As soon as Ethan Page came in, they started slowly to replenish this roster, and now look at what you have right here. And now you can build the card here for Stand Deliver. It's probably the best card for NXT in a while. So it's a loaded card, a lot of matches. Everyone's most likely in it. So so that's where we go. We both say Oba Femi. And you're right. You're right. The Trick and Javon feud could go on, and it could go on for a little bit too. So that will definitely be fun. But you have a bunch of talent here. NXT right now looks to again have replenished the roster, and the women's division is so deep as well. That's what we're talking about. Who's going to go? Whoever leaves, you can just bring right up here and replenish this roster. They have a lot of talented females here, and you're just like, just wish that everybody could succeed here, because they are all that talented too. So listen, it's going to be early morning. I think the call time for these guys to get to the building is like 5 a.m. local time, 5 a.m., 5:30. So again, God bless you guys. But again, that building, the T-Mobile, should be jam-packed and ready to go for a great morning of action here in NXT Stand and Deliver. Guys, you're watching the High Spot Podcast. I am Jeff Martin, alongside with the trendsetter Brian Berga. This was your NXT Stand and Deliver preview. Guys, enjoy this. Enjoy wrestling this weekend. It's not about hate. It's not about comparison. It's not about making fun of different companies. No, it's about everyone getting together in Vegas, enjoying wrestling. Go to the shows. Have as much fun as you want. Take pictures, buy merch, exchange photos, take pictures together, because it is a it is a gathering of wrestling fans like no other, and it is the best weekend and the best time to be a wrestling fan. So, guys, for the next few days, just enjoy wrestling. That's my message to you. And when you enjoy wrestling, make sure you watch HSP. Like I said, give it a shot. Network, like and subscribe. Download our episodes. Download us on podcast platforms. Follow us on social media platforms at the High Spot Podcast. We want to talk to you. We want to converse with the crew, and we definitely want you to enjoy everything that we put out there again. So there's a plethora of stuff that we have out there for you guys for this week, and definitely make sure we'll be live for our Stand and Deliver afterwards. After the show's over, make sure you catch us for our post show. Make sure you catch us for the post show after WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, and then again, the Raw after Mania will be there with you guys on IG Live. And then after Stand and Deliver, the NXT after that, we will be with you live. And that will conclude our long and busy week of content here on HSP. Trendsetter, listen, man, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy WrestleMania, guys, because we're going to do it as well. Trendsetter closes out as only you can.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been HSP's coverage of NXT Stand and Deliver. We thank you so much, guys, for following us and supporting us since the very beginning. Guys, make sure you enjoy WrestleMania weekend. Just be a fan. That's all Jeff and I want you guys to be. Just be a fan and enjoy it for what it is. It's the best time of year, in my opinion. And not just mine. I'm sure a lot of people share that as well. Just to be a fan and enjoy pro wrestling in its purest form for what it is. So, for my tag team partner, Jeff Martin, I'm the trendsetter, Brian Breakout. We are the Jersey Wrecking Crew. And thank you so much for watching this episode of the High Spot Podcast. We will catch you next time. Remember, we do this for one reason and one reason only. We do this for you, the
crew.
crew.
It's the most wonderful.